students, welcome to the video lecture series on Chemical Engineering Thermodynamics 2. Myself Jaimin Pandya, Assistant Professor in Chemical Engineering Department of LJIET Institute of Engineering and Technology. So let's start a new chapter which is a solution thermodynamics. So in this lecture we are going to discuss about fundamental property relation for the internal energy, Gibbs free energy, enthalpy and Helmholtz energy. Then we are going to discuss about the significance of chemical potential and the chemical potential as a criteria for the phase equilibrium, and then we'll discuss about effect of temperature and pressure on chemical potential. So let's first start with fundamental property relation. Fundamental property relation that can be given by the enthalpy, internal energy, Gibbs free energy and Helmholtz energy, which denote by capital A. So let's first derive fundamental property relation for internal energy. Internal energy, which means energy in system due to the motion and vibration of particular molecule, and that denoted by capital U. So internal energy from first law of thermodynamics, that can be given by du is equal to dq minus dw. But from definition of entropy, that can be given by ds is equal to dq upon t. So if we are making subject to this dq, it will be become dq is equal to t into ds. So we are going to replace this dq with this tds. So this equation number 1 becomes du is equal to tds minus dw. But we know that dw is equal to pdv. dw is equal to p into dv. This derived in CET 1 in first chapter. So this equation becomes du is equal to tds, replacing this dw with pdv, we will get tds minus pdv. So this is a fundamental property relation for the internal energy. So this is for fundamental property relation for internal energy. Now let's derive fundamental property for enthalpy. Enthalpy, which denoted by capital H, and equation for enthalpy that can be given by U plus PV. Okay, now so if we are going to differentiate this equation, we will get dH is equal to du plus differentiation of P into V. We have to apply multiplication rule here, so this equation becomes dH is equal to du plus PdV plus VdP. In multiplication rule, first term is a constant and derivation of second term plus second term is a constant and derivation of first term. So it becomes PdV plus VdP. Now we know that derive fundamental property relation for this internal energy. So just putting the value of fundamental property relation of this du, which is a TdS minus PdV. So putting value of this du TdS minus PdV, which using from equation number 2, okay, plus PdV plus VdP. So this minus PdV plus PdV will be cancelled. So dH becomes TdS plus VdP. So this is a fundamental property relation for the enthalpy. Now let's derive fundamental property relation for the Gibbs free energy. Gibbs free energy that can be denoted by capital G. So for that, G is equal to H minus Ts. So again differentiate this equation, we will get dg is equal to dh minus tds minus s dt. So here taking multiplication rule for this ts and taking minus into the bracket, so we will get dh is equal to minus tds minus s dt. Now putting value of this dh, we will get the next term, which is a, so this is a value of dh that can be given by TdS plus VdP. So putting value of this fundamental property relation of enthalpy, or can say that equation number 3. So using equation number 3 in this term, we will get the dg is equal to TdS plus VdP minus TdS minus S dt. So this TdS will be cancelled. So dg becomes VdP minus S dt. So this becomes our fundamental property relation for the Gibbs free energy. Now let's derive the fundamental property relation for the Helmholtz energy equation, that can be given by A is equal to U minus Ts. So if we are going to differentiate this term, we will get dA is equal to du minus tds minus s dt. Okay, so if this equation putting the value of internal energy, or can say that fundamental property relation of internal energy, so let's take this equation dA is equal to du minus tds minus s dt. So if we are putting value of tds minus pdv instead of this du, we will get dA is equal to TdS minus PdV minus TdS minus S dt. Okay, so if we are going to cancel this TdS, we will get the value of Helmholtz energy, that can be given by dA is equal to minus S dt minus PdV. So this is a fundamental property relation for the Helmholtz energy. So can say that fundamental property relation for the all four property, that can be given by du is equal to TdS minus PdV, then fundamental property relation for the enthalpy, that can be given by TdS plus VdP. So dH is equal to TdS plus VdP. Then fundamental property relation for Gibbs free energy, that can be given by dg is equal to VdP minus S dt. So dg is equal to VdP minus S dt. And for Helmholtz energy, the equation that given by minus S dt minus PdV minus S dt minus PdV. So these all are fundamental property relation for various thermodynamic property. So these four equations we are going to use in this chapter for calculation of various thermodynamic terms, and these equations are also used in chemical reaction equilibria chapter number 3. So this is about the fundamental property relation. Now let's discuss about the chemical potential as a criteria for phase equilibria. So chemical potential, that can be denoted by mu. Chemical potential widely used in thermodynamic property. It is used as an index of chemical equilibrium. In same manner of temperature and pressure are used as an index of thermal and mechanical equilibrium. In mechanical equilibrium, we are using pressure as a constant throughout the system, where in thermal equilibrium, we are going to use the temperature is a constant throughout the system. Similar manner, In a chemical equilibrium, chemical potential is a constant throughout the system. Chemical potential of component I that can be defined by mu I is equal to del GT, or can say that total Gibbs free energy, upon del Ni at constant temperature, pressure and Nj, where Ni is not equal to J. Chemical potential is a one type of intensive property. What is meaning of intensive property? Intensive property, which means a property which does not depend on mass. It is nothing but rate of increase in Gibbs free energy per mole of component. So chemical potential is a nothing but rate of increase in Gibbs free energy per particular mole of component. Chemical potential is a independent of mass but depend upon of the solution or solute. Total Gibbs free energy is a function of temperature, pressure and number of moles of various components. So can say that GT is equal to function of pressure, temperature and number of components such as the N1, N2 and Ni. So this becomes our equation number 2 and this becomes our equation number 1. The total identical GT is that can be given by, or can say that total differentiation of this GT that can be given by dGT is equal to del GT upon del P at constant temperature and total moles into dP. So to get total differentiation of GT with partial differentiation of GT with P and multiply with exact differentiation, and when we are going to do partial differentiation, other all components are constant. Similarly for the temperature we can say that del GT upon del T at constant pressure and other all component into exact differentiation of temperature that can be given by dt plus del summation of, can say that del gt upon del ni at constant temperature, pressure and n I is not equal to j, multiply by d Ni. Okay, so this becomes our equation number 3 for the total differentiation of this total GT. Now, using this equation number 1 in this equation number 3, using equation number 1 in equation number 3, so we have to replacing this del GT upon del Ni at constant temperature, pressure and Nj that can be given by mu I. So replacing this term with mu I, then this equation becomes like this: GT is equal to del GT upon del P at constant temperature and total component into dP plus del GT plus del T at constant pressure and total number of component into dt plus summation of mu I into d ni. So this becomes our equation number 4. Now we know that Gibbs free energy that can be given by G is equal to, or can say that total Gibbs free energy del GT, or can say that GT is equal to Vt upon dP minus St upon dt. So del GT upon del T at constant pressure and number of moles, it becomes minus St. So this becomes our equation number 5 and this becomes our equation number 6. So what we have do here, we are taking the constant pressure, so this term going to cancel, so can say that del GT upon del T is equal to minus S. So at constant pressure, this term becomes like this. Now, if we are taking a constant temperature, then this equation becomes del GT upon del P at constant temperature and number of moles. This equation becomes Vt. So this equation becomes our equation number 7. So this is for constant pressure and this is for constant temperature. So using equation 6 and 7 in equation number 4. So what is our equation number 4? This is our equation number 4. So using value of this equation number 6 and 7 at constant temperature and pressure in this equation. So del GT upon del GT upon del T at constant, that will become minus ST. So here we are going to put minus S and here we are going to put Vt by replacing this term. So we will get the equation dgt is equal to Vt dp minus St dt plus summation of mu I dni. So we are going to replacing this del gt upon del p. Del gt upon del p is equal to Vt. So here we are going to replace Vt. So this equation becomes Vt into dp. So this is a Vt upon dp. Similarly, del gt upon del t is replaced by minus s, because here in this equation we are del gt upon del t is equal to minus s. So we are going to replacing this del gt upon del t with minus s. So it becomes minus s into dt. So this is a minus s into dt plus mu I dni as it is. So this becomes our equation number 8. So this is a fundamental relation for the change in free energy of solution at constant temperature and pressure. Equation number 8 that can be given by del gt is equal to summation of mu I dni. At constant temperature and pressure, these both terms become cancelled. So this equation becomes del gt is equal to mu I dni. For binary system, if we are going to write this equation, then that can be given by dgt is equal to mu1 dn1 plus mu2 dn2. So this becomes our equation number 9 and this becomes our equation number 10. So this is a fundamental property relation for the chemical potential, or considered criteria for the chemical potential in phase equilibrium. So we are going to discuss about the effect of temperature and pressure on chemical potential in further some lecture. So this is all about today's lecture. I am completing my lecture here. Thank you.